Unit 5 was all about lines, their slopes, their intercepts, and the different forms they come in. You might be wondering why all this focus on lines. Oh, or maybe you're not, but the truth is, lines are the most important introduction to everything we do in algebra. We are going to be looking at relationships between functions where the real power of mathematics lies. To start, we're going to look at the parallel and perpendicular lines. Let's review what parallel lines are. They're two lines that never intersect and always have the same slope. Perpendicular lines always intersect at a right angle, and their slopes are inverse and opposite. We've got a lot of new vocabulary to cover for this unit and this lesson. So take a moment to read through these terms, but also notice that we're going to bring back our slope-intercept form and our point-slope form of a line. And we've got some new terms over here. So take a minute to read through those. Let's jump into our key feature, parallel lines, perpendicular lines. I've got some examples here for you. So these two lines are parallel. If you have a hard time remembering which is which, parallel lines, the two L's in parallel lines, are also parallel. So that kind of gives you a hint. They are the ones that do not intersect, just like those two L's. The key thing is I've got my two slope-intercept equations for these two lines. Notice they both have a slope of 2x there. So the slope is 2. They just have different y-intercepts. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite reciprocals and have different y-intercepts as well. Let's take a look at what an opposite reciprocal is. So the slope in our orange line here is 3. The slope in our black line here is negative 1/3. So opposite means that this one is positive and this one is negative. So that's the opposite part. The reciprocal part means if I made this 3 a fraction, 3/1, to make it a reciprocal, we flip that fraction over and we get 1/3. Let's recap that. When asked for the opposite of a number, you are being asked to give the opposite sign of that number. The multiplicative inverse of a number, that's a mouthful. When you multiply those two numbers together, you'll always get a product of 1. So for example, our 1/3 times 3 would give us a 1. But the easy way of saying that is we just flip over our fraction. The technical term for these kind of numbers is reciprocals. To find a reciprocal of any number in fraction form, reverse its numerator and denominator, or we just like to say flip it over. Let's look at some examples of this. Give the opposite reciprocal of each number below. So the first thing we do is we're going to find the opposite. So the opposite means this positive would become negative. Reciprocal means I flip it over. And that's it. The opposite reciprocal of 3/4 is negative 4/3. This next one, since it's not in fraction form, we're going to take those integers, those whole number negatives in this case, and we're going to put it over 1. This one started as a negative, so it will now be a positive. You don't write the plus, but the reciprocal here is going to be 1/12. The opposite reciprocal of negative 12 is positive 1/12. The last example, negative 1/5, is an example where you're going to need to simplify it when you're done. So this will become a positive since it started as a negative. The reciprocal would be 5/1. And then if I reduced that, it would just be 5. So the opposite reciprocal of negative 1/5 is just 5. We're going to put that all together into writing parallel and perpendicular lines. The key here is that parallel lines have the same slope. So that is really important to remember. This says to write the slope-intercept equation of a line parallel to the given line and the stated y-intercept. So we can see right here that the slope of the line given is 2/3. So I'm going to write that down, m equals 2/3. Since parallel lines have the same slope, I'm not going to change that. Then it's going to have a different y-intercept. The y-intercept given is -2. So I'm just going to write that down as b. And now I'm going to finish by writing my new equation. So my new equation is y equals 2/3 x, but this time -2. I have a different y-intercept. So what I'm saying is that there's some other line that's parallel to that first given line. So the first line is y equals 2/3 x plus 4. The new line that's parallel to it has an equation of y equals 2/3 x minus 2. Let's do that one more time with this next example, just so you can see it one more time. I'm going to go a little bit faster. So my slope here, m equals -2. That won't change because it's got the same slope. My y-intercept, this time it's written as an ordered pair, but that's still just 5. And my new equation will be y equals -2x plus 5. And that gives me the equation of a line that's parallel to my original line, which had an equation of y equals -2x. We're going to do that exact same process, but this time I'm working with perpendicular lines. So it's actually the same, if you take a look, this is the same lines and intercepts that I was given before, but this time I want equations for perpendicular lines instead of parallel lines. So remember that the slopes will have to be opposite reciprocals of each other. Let's start with our first example. We can see that my starting slope is 2/3. So that means my opposite reciprocal slopes, that since we started with a positive, we're going to have a negative. The reciprocal is 3/2. The y-intercept b is still -2. My new equation then is y equals -3/2 x minus 2 is my new slope. So this is the equation of a line that would be perpendicular to my first line, but crosses the y-intercept at -2. One final example, my starting slope is -2. I'm going to put that over 1 so that when I get my slope, that's going to become a positive 1/2. My y-intercept again is positive 5. Put that all together and I get y equals 1/2 x plus 5 will give me the equation of a line that's perpendicular to my original line.